All right, so going to transferring on fabric. So I'll be starting with this pitch one, and I'll be starting with the center front, which is going to be on fold. So because the length here will not, the length here cannot accommodate the length we are working with. The length we are working with is 61 inches, okay? So it cannot, even if I place, let me check. So you can see it's not up to, so we are going to work with the length grain, not this cross grain, okay? So I'm going to be flipping this fabric this way, and we'll be folding into two. So now that I folded into two, I'm going to take this pattern for the center front, and I'm going to be placing it at the top here, leaving about 1 inch at the top, and I'm going to pin it down. Okay, so now that I have placed this here, I'm going to start from this half length. The half length here is 20. I'm working with a plus size. So from the half length, I'll be placing 20 here. Then I'll measure the rest of the length, which is 61 inches. So going down this way, I have 60, 61. Then to the down part, I'll be adding about 1.5 inch extra to the M. Then all I need to do is to roll it across. Just roll an horizontal line across this way. So this is it here, okay? Now, I'll be taking this back. Let me move it closer here so you can see it, okay? So I'll be adding my allowances of 1/2 inch all round here, 1/2 inch. So to the top part too, we'll be adding 1/2 inch allowance. Now that I have added my allowance here, then I'm going to have to move this. So from this half length, we are connecting it to the length. Now at this down part, I'll first come to the waistline here, to the half length, measure what I have in total with the same allowance. I have 4 inches. So I'll go to this down part, measure the 4 inches. Then I'll be adding extra. Now, whatever addition you are doing depends on how wide you want your panel to be. But the least you should add is 6 inches, okay? So you can do as much as 8, 10 inches. So after the 4 inches, which is on the half length, I'll be coming to mark extra 10 inches. So which will give me a total of 14 inches here, okay? Then I'll be taking my ruler. I don't know where that long ruler is. So I'll be using this long ruler, and I'll be connecting this down, okay? So you can see what we are doing. So the total width of this down part is 14 inches. You can make it wider if you want. You can make it wider. I'm even thinking of increasing it since I still have little space on this side, okay? So I'm thinking of bringing it out. I'm thinking of bringing it out this way. So I'm bringing it out since I have extra space. I want to exhaust the fabric by the side. So I'll bring it back to the half length, like so. So you can see what I have. So I'm just going to cut it out. This is an A-line panel. The fullness at the mid panels are not the same fullness. You can see for this center, I brought it out. Now you'll see how I'm going to do the side. I'm not going to bring the side out that way, because if I bring it out that way, it will alter the design we are trying to look at. It will be like the flow of a piecey skirt, which we don't want. Because if you look at the flow at the center, it is not so coming out like that. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to remove this, and we have this. You can see it. Now I'm going to take the fabric for the side, which is this. I need you to look at what I'm doing very carefully. So as I was saying, for this down part here, for this center front, at this side, we are going to come up by about half an inch. Then we are going to shape it so that it will reduce the sharpness, so that this part will not be pointed around here. So I'm going to shape it this way. Okay, now that we have this, I'm going to return this back like I was doing before. So we are following this exact shape, placing this on this same allowance here to align. Then I'm following this exact shape this way. Then this is the length, so I'll extend this length to the side. So now I can remove this center piece. Okay, now that I have removed the center piece, for the side on the waistline, I'm just going to, this is all I have left on this fabric, so I have to just manage what I have. So I'll just make like an A-line shape this way, then to the side this way, and I'm done with it. So the next thing is just to cut out. So then I'll just cut it out. So this same thing I did for the front is what I'm going to be doing for the back. So here I'm cutting. If you are the type that wants the A-line to flow more to this side, and you have and you feel that the fabric is not enough, you can add to it. Like whatever you are cutting out from here can be replaced at this down part at the side to complete it, to make it wide, to make the A-line wider. Or you can even have this attached to this side to get a wider A-line at the side. I will still decide on that whether I want it or not. But for now, let me continue with what I am cutting. So now this is what I have for the side. And I'm going to be bringing the center front for us to see. So by the time we join, we are going to have this. I hope you can see it. We are going to have this, something like this. So moving on to the back, I have the center back piece here, and I'm going to be pinning it. Now the center back, we are going to be maintaining the straight line this way. So it is the one at the middle that will now slant out like we did for the front. So we'll be using 1 inch zipper allowance at the center back. So I'll be pinning it, leaving 1 inch out here for zipper allowance. And that is what I am doing. Now, just like we did for the front, I'll be taking the remaining lengths, placing the half length. The half length for the back is 17 and a half. So on this end of this pattern paper, I'll be placing my 17 and a half. Then I'll continue to the length, which is 61. So here is 61. Then I'll be adding extra 1.5 inches to the hem, like I did for the front. And I'll roll it across this way. Okay, so now that I've taken the length, whatever I have here, from this end here to where this paper is, I have added this zipper allowance here. I have like 5.5. So I'll go down to this hem here and take the same 5.5. Then the front, remember we had that 10.5 inches. 10 inches for the floor. So I'll be doing the same thing, 10 inches for the floor with half inch for joining. I've not added same allowance to that part, so I'll be using 10.5. Then I'll come to this one up. I'm adding my half inch seam allowance here. Then here 1 inch zipper allowance. Okay, then at the top here we are adding ½ inch to join the yoke. Then from this ½ inch seam allowance, I'll be connecting with a slant to the down part. Then at this down part, I'll be going up by ½ inch to slant it so that the end will not be pointed. Then I'll connect this way and I'm done. So all I need to do is just to cut it out. Then we'll proceed to the side. Okay, so I have the center piece for the back. Then I'll be bringing in the red fabric to make the side piece. So let me keep this aside for now. And I'll be folding the red fabric. So this is how I'm going to be placing it. So I'm going to come this way and pin. I need more flow at the side, not the one going towards the center. So that is why I'm pinning the excess fabric towards the side. Okay, now that I have pinned it, remember how we went about doing the front? That's also what we will do. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 1½ seam allowance, then ½ inch to the armhole, ½ inch to the upper part, and ½ inch to this part. Okay, now we'll be taking the rest of the length, placing 17 inches, 17½, which is the half length. Then we'll be taking the rest of the length, which is 61 inches, then adding 1½ to the length, and I'll be rolling across this length. So now having done this, I'll be coming in with the center panel. Okay, this is it. This part is where we'll be attaching this way, remember. So I'll be aligning the waistline. This allowance here, hope your own machine too is not adding. This allowance here, I'll be attaching, I'll be aligning them together. Then I'll just make this one fall in place and I'll follow this shape. So I'll follow this shape. I'll follow this shape and mark, rule out this shape. Okay, now that I have ruled out the shape, the next thing is to connect my A line for the side to the M. Okay. And the next thing is for me to just cut it out. So look at what we have. We have this attached together, and by the time we attach them, you can see it. You can see it. So the next thing is to go ahead and transfer the yoke on fabric and cut, and then proceed with the sewing. So for the yoke, we'll be making use of this stitch fabric for both front and back. So I'll be doing the back yoke first, transferring the back yoke. This is it. I'll be adding 1-inch zipper allowance just like I did for the down part too. So here, so I'll just be adding 1/2 inch all the way around because I'll be having a sleeve on this yoke, sorry, on this dress I mean. So I'm adding 1/2 inch all the way around. Then I have 1-inch zipper allowance and I have the back yoke. So the next thing is to cut the front yoke. So for the front yoke, I'll be folding this into 2 also. Then I'll pin down my pattern on the fabric. Now after pinning down the pattern on the after pinning down the pattern on the fabric, I'll go ahead and cut out, adding 1/2 inch allowance all round. Ọlọ́run ló ní kẹ́ẹ̀dì tí ń wà, ìwọ ọmọ yìí. A ti bà fídíò jẹ́ lọ fún yàn. Okay, so I have the front yoke and the back yoke, and I have my fabric my pattern transferred on fabric. Then the next thing is to go ahead and sew. It's not going to be with a lining, it's just going to have an inner. Thank you so much for watching.